Hello everyone, this is Patrick and I am back with another edition of Heavy Therapy and I am excited for this video. I am going to discuss my top 10 modern non-hyphenated death metal bands. And I'd love for some of my viewers, some of fellow metal YouTube to participate. So here are the criteria that makes it more fun because you have a little bit of some boundaries, you have some uh, stipulations, and it kind of focuses your mind. So, modern non-hyphenated death metal bands. The criteria is this: uh, they would have had to drop their first debut full length no earlier than 2010, so they can have been a band before that, demos, EPs, splits, singles, whatever, rehearsals, no full lengths until 2010 to make them fully modern. They've been around for, they've had full lengths out in the world for around a decade or so. They should have at least two full lengths, so there are a lot of even newer wave bands coming up in this scene in the underground, death metal underground, but they don't have enough releases to qualify if they only have one full length. And then here's what I mean by no hyphenation, right? No death grind, no death doom, no progressive death, no technical death metal, no experimental avant-garde, blackened. Those are for different videos. Those are for different lists. These are my criteria just to have fun with, so play along and make your own videos if you desire. And I'm going to do this in order because it's really fun to rank stuff if you're me and some of you out there as well. Also enjoy doing that. So these are my 10 favorite modern non-hyphenated death metal bands that meet this criteria that I just laid out. Number 10, we're going with this Copenhagen, Denmark-based band named Phrenelith. They actually started in 2013. Their first LP did not come out until 2017. They have two full lengths, including this one right here, Desolate Landscape. This was their first full length in 2017. And then just last year, 2021, they put out Chimera, their second full length. So this album art right here kind of showcases my favorite style of cover art, right? Well, the album's called Desolate Landscape. So my favorite type of artwork is a desolate landscape, fire, skeletons, smoke. And there's always like a shadowy figure. Sometimes I like to think of it as myself, sometimes not at all. But yeah, Phrenelith, they to me really understand dark atmospheric death metal. Their melodies are just always, there's no pop here. Their melodies are really dark. The just their tremolos are really dark. Uh, their newer albums a bit more head nodding, a bit more groovy, but they don't sacrifice any of their just darkness, heaviness, evilness. That's what you get with Phrenelith. Okay, my ninth favorite modern non-hyphenated death metal band is Undeath. Undeath is from Rochester, New York. They are very new. They began in 2018 and they have two full lengths. Their first full length was in 2020 and their second full length was in this year, 2022. very hyped up band, very popular band, one of the most popular underground death metal bands going. I think they deserve it. Out of these two albums, my favorite is their debut album. Yeah, the production is better on this album, the songs are better on this album, and I hear that occasionally that people agree with me on that, but many people that I've been seeing disagree. They think that the new album is better, and I do not think so. Both have amazing artwork, and yeah, Undeath, Rochester, New York, Cannibal Corpse style, uh, riffy, catchy death metal. Number 8 is a band out of Melbourne, Victoria, Australia. I'm talking about Faceless Burial. They started in 2014. Their first LP, which I don't own, came out in 2017. This is Speciation and came out in 2020. One of my favorite album art cover arts of all time. The gloss looks really great in person. Their new full length comes out by the time this is released a couple of weeks from now. I've actually had the privilege to hear it early because I wrote a review for it at this link down here at noobheavy.com. It's their best album so far, so they keep improving. They they almost didn't make this list because I think of them as, I don't know, as almost hyphenated. But according to the Metal Gods, Metal Archives, they're death metal, and it does make sense. They just do so much. They're complex. They are technical. That uh, just a lot of adjectives come to my mind. But I understand this as a properly understood death metal band. Faceless Burial. Uh, yeah, listen to their stuff. Really fantastic. Tons of notes, tons of ideas jam packed in each and every song. Number seven. Number seven is going to be Desolate Shrine from Helsinki, Finland. Finland, one of my favorite death metal scenes in the 90s, still continuing to crush it today. This is Desolate Shrine. Uh, Began in 2010. They put out their first LP in 2011. This is their 2022 LP called Fires of the Dying World. This is just like mature, thoughtful, reflective, doomy death metal right here. Not death doom, but death metal. Um, and their album previously was called Deliverance from the Godless Void. It's right here. They always have really cool artwork too. This is their 20, I think it was 2017 release, though I'm not positive as I say that. Desolate Shrine, great. If you like grave miasma, uh, mid-paced, melodic, but not mellow death metal band. Desolate Shrine, one of my favorites going today. They have at least two LPs, and their first LP being no earlier than 2010. Okay, up next is a band from France, um, the northernmost region of France. I'm talking about Skeletal. They began in 2012. Their first LP, which is this, I believe, came out in 2017. This album is a 10 out of 10 to me. Perfect death metal album. Guitar solos on almost, if not every song. Catchy without being, commercial and pop. Uh, fantastic songwriting, fantastic aesthetic here. Beautiful album art as well on this one. Skeletal. Yeah, this album right here. Really, check it out if you like bands like Tomb Mold, Death, Skeletal. Okay, I just want to make sure I have what number am I on? So I believe I am at number 5. Okay, number 5. My fifth favorite non-hyphenated modern death metal band is Necrot. We all know and love Necrot from Oakland, California. Their debut album came out in 2011. This album that I'm holding in my hand came out in 2020. This is called Mortal. This is my favorite Necrot album. And Sinister Will, you see right there, that to me is my favorite death metal song ever. Perfectly constructed. I would play that in a master class if I was teaching a course on the history of death metal, how to write a good death metal song. Sinister Will by Necrot is my favorite death metal song. Um, this is their debut album. Not as good as Mortal in my opinion, but I've also haven't heard it as much. But great nonetheless. And cool compilation of all of their early demos right here as well. This is called The Labyrinth. Necrot rules. All right, next up, yeah, I believe another band from California, West Coast time. This is Vastum. Vastum began in 2009, but their first album came out in 2011. Vastum, um, yeah, just they know how to write songs. There's a dual vocalist approach. There's a female vocalist and a male vocalist. I love how, but there's no cleans. Just two different distinct styles of death metal screams, growls, roars, shrieks, whatever you want to call them. Yeah, Vastum just they just do it. Uh, Catchy, groovy, dark, heavy. I love their lyrical approach. Is very like psychosexual and just very weird band. Vastum. Okay, I think I'm at number 3. If not, then I'm like every other YouTuber and numbers, I'll have to put an asterisk. But I think I have 3 more bands to talk about. All right. So my third favorite is going to be Tomb Mold out of Toronto, California. Toronto, California. Toronto, Canada. And yeah, Tomb Mold, what can I say? This was their latest full length, came out in 2020, Planetary Clairvoyance. This actually took me a while to get into. Now I think it's a flawless, another 10 out of 10 record, but my favorite Tomb Mold album, Manner of Infinite Forms. I like the soloing. It's just one of the heaviest albums ever, but so is Planetary Clairvoyance. So they actually began in 2015. Their first full length right here is called Primordial Malignity. This album sounds quite different than what they ended up developing into. Still Tomb Mold, still fantastic. Tomb Mold, one of my favorite band names I've ever heard as far as an underground metal band name. So is Necrot, by the way. Tomb Mold, great band. And this is also really cool that I had a chance to pick up. This is their demo that they just put out this year called Aperture of Body. 3 songs, including an intro. And I tell you what, the last song on this, there you go. That's the way it should be looked at. The last song on this track, this EP demo, Prestige of Rebirth, one of my favorite songs of the year. They add that sort of dream doom that what's his name? That Dream Unending um, showcased. To mold aperture body. If this is the direction they're going into, then yeah, they're gonna put out one of the best death metal albums of 2023. To mold, again, another very popular band in the underground, and I think they deserve it. Okay, my second favorite modern death metal band is another band from Copenhagen, Denmark. The Danish scene is nuts. Tons of good bands from that scene. I'm talking about Undergang. They formed in 2008, but they can make the list because their first LP was in 2010. I don't own their first LP. This was their 2020 LP. Yep, just Undergang. When it clicks, it clicked, and I was like, I want all of their stuff. I love all of their stuff. Took me a little bit to get into them as well, but the attention to detail is what matters for Undergang. They have more of that autopsy style, rumbling, heavy, heavy, dark bass. But yeah, Undergang, just killer death metal band. This is their live album that sounds amazing. Very fun listen right here. Might as well go through what I have. Misanthropology right here. Uh, Killer artwork, which is also done by the guitar player and the vocalist. Undergang. Love this artwork here. Yeah, my second favorite modern death metal band is Undergang. And for number one, I said it was West Coast time. My top five is heavy with the West Coast here in the United States. I'm talking about Portland, Oregon based Witch Vomit. They're the best. They're the best. Also have some of the best artwork I've ever seen. This is their 2021 EP, murky, incantation style, death metal, amazing riff writers, great song compositions, great drummer. This is their second full length right here. They started in 2012. Their first full length came out in 2016. That is this one right here called A Scream from the Tomb Below. And while I'm at it, let's just show the artwork is amazing. This is, I believe, their second EP. And yeah, Witch Vomit. If you like that incantation style, death metal, Witch Vomit is going to be a modern version, a modern band doing that style well. If you like Phobophilic, I would say Witch Vomit is like a heavier, darker version of them. More riffy, less melodic. But yeah, this has been fun. This has been my 10 favorite non-hyphenated modern death metal bands. And yeah, please like, comment, subscribe, make your own videos. It'd be really fun to watch you all make this kind of video as well. Thank you. Bye.